I mean,
I'm
I
not
just
gonna
wish.
let you have it.
पनि एउटा के रमाइलो दिन भनेर मात्रै हामीले गरेको होइन। आजको सेगमेन्ट हामी यति नै थियो होइन गाइजहरू। अब हाम्रो केटाहरू यत्रो अमूल्य टाइम लिएर यहाँ उपस्थित हुनुभएकोमा सबै केटाहरूलाई धेरै धेरै धन्यवाद भन्न चाहन्छु। र अब आउने पिएमपिएलमा सबैजनालाई बेस्ट विसेस भन्न चाहन्छु होइन। सबैजनाले राम्रो गर्नु होला, हामी पनि हेर्नेछौँ होइन। सबैजनालाई बेस्ट अफ लक भन्न चाहन्छु।
Each new era needs new champions. But to become one needs to rise to the challenges. Persevere through failures. One needs to fuel the inner fire. PMPL South Asia Spring 2022. The dawn of new champions.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the PUBG Mobile Pro League South Asia Spring Season of 2022, brought to you by the Oppo F21 Pro. And now this is the end, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, 3 days ago, we talked about the beginning of the end. We are finally here, the last 6 games for all the 16 teams that have made it to the grand finals now. And we will keep our eyes out to see which teams will be making it into the top 10, headed towards the SA Championship, which will happen in a while. But also, I mean, how the prize money is going to be distributed. And to help me out, ladies and gentlemen, is the amazing Ocean Sharma joining me. Ocean, how are you feeling? Last day, it's been a journey, a month-long journey, and finally we're headed towards the end.
And Johnny, think about it, right? If you talk about some other region, that is the Pakistan region, 6 games decided the fate of 6 teams they were moving forward.
Yes.
Right now, 6 games are going to be eliminating 6 teams from our region because 10 will move forward. Think about it, right? This is going to be a devil's number, legend just coming down onto the players. They'll have to just understand everything.
Yeah.
If you're at 10th position and 11th position, there's going to be a massive heartbreak. You need to be in top 10. Whatever happens, today it is an actual end game, and trust me, a lot is at stake.
I mean, you can't just snap away your problems at this point. I think that is something that these players don't have the luxury of doing. But Ocean, as soon as I entered our workplace this morning, a question was asked to me. Like, a question was put in front of me from our wonderful, wonderful colleagues over at the Nepali broadcast. And the question was, who do you think is going to win at the end of it all? What do you think now? My answer for this was either IHC or Stalwart Esports. Is yours any different?
I do believe IHC because, again, we saw the lead that they just gathered for themselves. If they can do it on one day, they can definitely just move forward with the other one. IHC, the thing has been that when they were Zeus, right, in a few last seasons, in fact, their performance was kind of going down. I know somehow what was going on, but now they're back. They're the same PMGC juice is back in this
Exactly.
IHC. I mean, we have seen the way Zol has performed yesterday, right? That
Yep.
was just incredible. We have seen them taking multiple chicken dinners as well, and every chicken definitely gets you a good amount of money as well. So they know the worth. Plus, the best part, since a few last PMPL seasons, we were starting off the conversation, aim, assist off, this, that.
Yeah.
They have adapted that formula now.
Exactly. It took them a while, but finally the team has shown up in their actual form, ladies and gentlemen. Let's move forward. Since Ocean has done the luxury of mentioning the money that's there for the players to win, we are going to talk about money now, because prize pool distributions are going to happen today. I mean, the teams will solidify how much money they will have in the bank after this, after the matches are done, basically. But we'll see about that. On the other side, first position, $10,000. That is what the podium holder will get for themselves. Then if you are second, at the end of the day, you get $6,500. If you are third, you get only $5,000. Prize money keeps on dropping as you go lower in the standings. And then, I mean, there's the prestigious MVP solo money that does not need to be shared with your comrades. It is going to be yours and yours alone. The $1,000 for the tournament MVP. Now, yesterday we saw quite an interesting turnaround in the rankings of the elimination leaders. I believe we're gonna have that in front of us as well for a bit towards the very end, though. But for now, overall rankings, IHC Esports, as we talked about them, being the front runners in everyone's list as the team that has the highest probability of walking away with the trophy. But the chase is quite close, and it's still on. Train to Kill on the second, just 15 points shy of the leaders.
They understand that they are not alone out there. T2K definitely has what it takes. I mean, this team has showcased that on those few days. But then, remember, alongside T2K, there used to be a team known as Vibes.
Yeah.
Which we cannot see in top 8 right now. The vibes of the previous Super Weekends was different. The vibes of these finals is different. Janmar, a team that just impressed us. Now that impression is kind of just going on to a fade away. Skylights is at 6th position, 99 points for them. 89, 80. You know, on the other side, I want to see where the team at 10th position is. That's Raw with 78. Definitely they can move forward. DRS, the struggles are coming. Vibes, the struggles are coming. Elementrix, the struggles are coming.
Yeah.
Savage, the struggles are coming. I mean, come on. This Savage needs 2 good games today if they want to just, go forward with it.
Exactly. I mean, if they want to stand a chance of moving forward to the SA Championship, they need 2 good games, and they need them at the start of the day. So if they miss out on the first Erangel and the Miramar, then the struggles are going to continue for Savage Esports. But along with that, I think yesterday was a pretty neat turnaround from the players of Venom Legend, because if you remember when we started the day, I believe they were just struggling with 7-8 points in the previous 6 matches that they had collected. But from there, we saw them bounce up and close the distance between them and Savage Esports. 7C Esports were the team earlier sitting on the 15th position, but now there was a swap in the middle of the day yesterday where 7C Esports took over Savage Esports and are now sitting on the 14th position. But as you mentioned, Vibes Esports, Ocean. Vibes, I don't know what went wrong with them. During the league stages, Vibes Esports was absolutely flawless. They were playing textbook, and they were very clean with those textbook playstyles as well. No unnecessary fights, no unnecessary aggression, just a complete slow early game where they would try their level best to survive. If there was a collision, they would go for those squad fights. Otherwise, they would try their level best to avoid them in the early game stage, and we saw them pack a lot of firepower in their lineup as well. But once we make it to the finals, and Vibes, let's not forget, qualified within the top 3 in the league stages, Vibes is just completely struggling. They have broken down.
They definitely have this, kind of broken down when it comes down to it. Let's have a look at a few stats as for what we can say, and that is IHC Finals Day 1 versus Day 2. Look at the massive increase in terms of damage dealt that they have. It's kind of a 500-ish increase. Survival time is still the same, so that shows that, that they have the efficiency increase for themselves in terms of damage dealt. 6.5 eliminations turned to 7.7, which is good, and an average of 11.2 points, moving down to 16.3. That's just brilliant. That's just incredible. And IHC, well, the change, it's making waves for them.
Yeah, I mean, change is definitely making waves, and they are also making a lot of waves. You always hear those thunderclaps go around whenever IHC just starts going ham inside of the game, which happened quite a lot yesterday. I mean, talk about this fight against Savage Esports, which was, well, kind of in the favor of IHC Esports because of a blunder that was made with Eisenberg getting knocked out by a friendly grenade. Still, IHC, they were pretty strong. They were pretty on point with their performances yesterday, even though I think the only thing that they have changed, as you mentioned, Ocean, was not anything too drastic. They just worked on their survival time. Elimination point average, I mean, just being a slightly more aggressive, because at the end, when you are making sure that you have the numbers advantage towards the closing moments of the game, you will be able to secure a few extra eliminations, and that automatically works out in the favor of IHC Esports. But especially the way they have handled that mid-game chaos on those Irangles, I think was something that IHC really needed to figure out. And now they have done it. They are sitting on the first position, so not a lot to complain about, actually.
Yeah, not exactly a lot to complain about, but then look at this, the performances of this team, right? Starting off from the first few games, they were not have to just understand everything.
Yeah.
If you're at 10th position and 11th position, there's going to be a massive heartbreak. You need to be in top 10. Whatever happens, today it is an actual end game, and trust me, a lot is at stake.
I mean, you can't just snap away your problems at this point. I think that is something that these players don't have the luxury of doing. But Ocean, as soon as I entered our workplace this morning, a question was asked to me. Like, a question was put in front of me from our wonderful colleagues over at the Nepali broadcast, and the question was, who do you think is going to win at the end of it all? What do you think now? My answer for this was either IHC or Stalwart Esports. Is yours any different?
I do believe IHC because, again, we saw the lead that they just gathered for themselves. If they can do it on one day, they can definitely just move forward with the other ones. IHC, the thing has been that when they were Zeus, right, in a few last seasons, in fact, their performance was kind of going down. I know somehow what was going on, but now they are back. They're the same PMGC Zeus is back in this IHC. I mean, we have seen the way Zol has performed yesterday, right? That was just incredible. We have seen them taking multiple chicken dinners as well, and every chicken definitely gets you a good amount of money as well. So they know the worth. Plus, the best part, since a few last PMPL seasons, we were starting off the conversation, aim, assist off, this, that. They have adapted that formula now.
Exactly. It took them a while, but finally the team has shown up in their actual form, ladies and gentlemen. But let's move forward. Since Ocean has done the luxury of mentioning the money that's there for the players to win, we are going to talk about money now, because prize pool distributions are going to happen today. I mean, the teams will solidify how much money they will have in the bank after the matches are done, basically. But we'll see about that. On the other side, first position, $10,000. That is what the podium holder will get for themselves. Then if you are second, at the end of the day, you get $6,500. If you are third, you get only $5,000. The prize money keeps on dropping as you go lower in the standings. And then, I mean, there's the prestigious MVP solo money that does not need to be shared with your comrades. It is going to be yours and yours alone. The $1,000 for the tournament MVP. Now, yesterday we saw quite an interesting turnaround in the rankings of the elimination leaders. I believe we're gonna have that in front of us as well for a bit towards the very end. But for now, overall rankings, IHC Esports, as we talked about them, being the front runners in everyone's list as the team that has the highest probability of walking away with the trophy. But the chase is quite close, and it's still on. Train to Kill on the second, just 15 points shy of the leaders.
They understand that they're not alone out there. T2K definitely has what it takes. I mean, this team has showcased that on those few days. But then, remember, alongside T2K, there used to be a team known as Vibes.
Yeah.
We cannot say a top 8 right now. The vibes of the previous Super Weekends was different. The vibes of these finals is different. Janmar, a team that just impressed us. Now that impression is kind of just going on to fade away. Skylights is at 6th position, 99 points for them. 89, 80. On the other side, I want to see where the team at 10th position is. That's Raw with 78. Definitely they can move forward. DRS, the struggles are coming. Vibes, the struggles are coming. Elementrix, the struggles are coming. Savage, the struggles are coming. I mean, come on. This Savage needs 2 good games today if they want to just, go forward with it.
Exactly. I mean, if they want to stand a chance of moving forward to the SA Championship, they need two good games and they need them at the start of the day. So if they miss out on the first Irangal and the Miramar, then the struggles are going to continue for Savage Esports. But along with that, I think yesterday was a pretty neat turnaround from the players of Venom Legends, because if you remember when we started the day, I believe they were just struggling with 7-8 points in the previous 6 matches that they had collected. But from there, we saw them bounce up and close the distance between them and Savage Esports. 7C Esports were the team earlier sitting on the 15th position, but now there was a swap in the middle of the day yesterday where 7C Esports took over Savage Esports and are now sitting on the 14th position. But as you mentioned, Vibes Esports, Ocean, Vibes, I don't know what went wrong with them. In the league stages, Vibes Esports was absolutely flawless. They were playing textbook and they were very clean with those textbook playstyles as well. No unnecessary fights, no unnecessary aggression, just a complete slow early game where they would try their level best to survive. If there was a collision, they would go for those squad fights. Otherwise, they would try their level best to avoid them in the early game stage. And we saw them pack a lot of firepower in their lineup as well. But once we make it to the finals, and Vibes, let's not forget, qualified within the top 3 in the league stages, Vibes is just completely struggling. They have broken down.
They definitely have this kind of broken down when it comes down to it. Let's have a look at a few stats for what we can say, and that is IHC Finals Day 1 versus Day 2. Look at the massive increase in terms of damage that they have. It's kind of a 500-ish increase. Survival time is still the same, so that shows that they have the efficiency increase for themselves in terms of damage dealt. 6.5 eliminations turned to 7.7, which is good, and an average of 11.2 points, moving down to 16.3. That's just brilliant. That's just incredible. And IHC, well, the change, it's making waves for them.
Yeah, I mean, change is definitely making waves, and they are also making a lot of waves. You always hear those thunderclaps go around whenever IHC just starts going ham inside of the game, which happened quite a lot yesterday. I mean, talking about this fight against Savage Esports, which was, well, kind of in the favor of IHC Esports because of a blunder that was made with Eisenberg getting knocked out by a friendly grenade. But still, IHC, they were pretty strong. They were pretty on point with their performances yesterday, even though I think the only thing that they have changed, as you mentioned, Ocean, was not anything too drastic. They just worked on their survival time. Elimination point average, I mean, just being a slightly more aggressive, because at the end, when you are making sure that you have the numbers advantage towards the closing moments of the game, you will be able to secure a few extra eliminations, and that automatically works out in the favor of IHC Esports. But especially the way they have handled that mid-game chaos on those Irangles, I think was something that IHC really needed to figure out. And now they have done it. They are sitting on the first position, so not a lot to complain about, actually.
Yeah, not exactly a lot to complain about, but then look at this, the performances no graph of this team, right? Starting off from the first few games, they were not performing good till the 4th game, right? They were also not in a really safe spot, but after that, 5th game, they do really good. Then yesterday's first 2 games, that is 7th and 8th game, they do incredibly well. 9th game, they did falter down. 10th game, they did falter, but they had done their job already, that they were at the first position by the end of yesterday. And today, well, they need to perform in the same way. Otherwise, well, I get it. T2K is coming for your throne, but they will also take the bragging rights of winning this one. IHC, I guess they know it, but will they be able to do it? Because you know it, right? IHC nowadays, they are taking mature decisions. But you still understand, there is that slight zealth between the players that, they want to overcome it. They like to overcome it.
I mean, you have to be careful if you're going to try and fly close to the sun, right? Otherwise, your wings are going to melt off and you're just going to burn as you fall back to the earth. I think that is something that, as you mentioned, IHC need to be careful about. I mean, at a certain point, you're going to start overcommitting into those team fights and end up hampering your own performances. And I think a perfect example and a perfect segue into our next comparison, because Stalwart Esports are, in fact, going through the same thing right now, where in certain situations, in certain fights, they end up overcommitting and end up getting wiped out.
Let's see now. As we talk about these 2 teams, right? Train to Kill and Stalwart, the point difference is not that much. Average survival is good with Train to Kill. Eliminations are good with Train to Kill. A few teams, including Train to Kill and Vibes, again, we'll go to that question, that conversation. But these teams know how to defeat and dominate against the Mongolians. They like to go for it. Previously, it was Train to Kill, Vibes that was just, on a really good roll for themselves. Although now, if you look at it, Train to Kill, they have less damage dealt, but they have less damage received as well. That means Stalwart is making a few mistakes on the go, and maybe Stalwart understands that it's high time that they correct those.
Yeah, I mean it's definitely high time to fix those errors in judgment that have been there from the side of Stalwart Esports. But on the other side, Train to Kill, I'm actually really happy with their performances in the recent days, especially in the finals. They have really come into their own sort of play style and have sort of developed this very interesting tactic wherein, I mean, you are just going to see them go for hardcore survival until the 18-20 minute marker, and even then they are not going to engage in any close quarters combat situation unless it's absolutely necessary. Train to Kill have managed to be very consistent in terms of getting those elimination points as well, which is like an additional bonus to them, because I mean, we have always talked about this, right? If you are getting eliminated early with no elimination points, then that game is basically it never happened for you. You are at a disadvantage of one entire match against the other teams. But if you do manage to walk away with 3 to 4 eliminations, even if you're getting taken out early, you do walk away with some points. And I think that is the only thing that has sort of given a slight edge to the players of Train to Kill. Stalwart Esports on the other side, I mean, we know the extremities that this team likes to go to. I mean, you see that either it's a massive pop-off, or it's just a complete follow where they barely take an exit with like 2 points, 3 points in a match.
A weirdly huge plus minus coming down between these two teams, right? You see Stalwart, you understand the way they get a good game. Train to Kill does not. It does the same game. Train to Kill, they get a good game. Stalwart does not. The same game. So it's kind of that they don't understand, but still it looks like they are playing against each other's matches or match styles. Like, you know, they just have their own flow. And so if today Train to Kill gets a good game and Stalwart doesn't, well, they'll get more points. If Stalwart gets good game, if Train to Kill doesn't, then also it becomes the same factor. So today is going to be a really important one, and we might just have that understanding overall coming down in the first few games. 100% we'll see what is happening overall. Maybe in first 3 games, because again, we're going to be seeing one Sanok. That's all. Miramar, that's plenty. And Wrangle, that is a lot.
Exactly. 3 Wrangles, 2 Miramars, and just 1 Sanok in the entire day. And again, one more, not one more, but a couple of more teams that I would like to mention in the list that are going to be there. I mean, they're a little bit further away from the competition, but they're going to be super exciting. As exciting as a drop, ladies and gentlemen, that we have for you guys Again, we bring you these amazing skins, and the only thing that you have to do is make sure that you're watching the broadcast on PUBG Mobile Esports South Asia's official YouTube and Facebook pages, and there are going to be links pinned in the live chat, so make sure you're keeping track of that as well, because the drops are going to happen that way. And then there's the feedback also, which was happening. Hopefully the link is going to be there pinned in the chat for that as well. But ladies and gentlemen, finally moving forward towards the schedule of the day, Wrangle is going to be the one starting it all, and Wrangle is where it will all come to an end. In the middle, we have Miramar, Sanok, Wrangle, and another Miramar. But as I was talking about the teams earlier, Roshan, what are your thoughts on Deadeye's guys and Janmara? Now, Deadeye's guys, I mean, from the leaders, do feel a little bit further away, but it's a sub 30-point difference between the two teams, between Janmara, DE, and IHC, somewhere around 30 points, plus minus just a few digits as well. And that is enough difference that you can cover up within the first 3 matches if Janmara and DE both manage to be consistent.
History has repeated itself. Deadeye's guys, they were at the first position in the first day. Now they're not exactly struggling, but again, you know it, right? Things are not looking good for them as of now. Janmara is a team that I'm really impressed of, because it's kind of that season 2 Janmara that we know, like, you know, you remember VT and Janmara, like those players, they had their own composure. They were different, like a few players were different, a few players were same. But then again, you understand it, right? They have the experience flowing for them, and experience speaks in the most important matches, in the most important tournaments. This is the most important tournament. You can call it like, you know, they were playing a different game in the first few super weekends, in the first 3 super weekends, and now they are playing a different game altogether, which is good. Takes them to top 5. They stay at the 2nd position as well. They do falter down, but then again, it's a learning curve for them. You can call it a learning curve, because they are still understanding what's going on, but whilst understanding, they are going head to toe in against the competition, which is really good.
I mean, but if your intentions are quite set on lifting the trophy, then all the time for learning is done. You don't have any time to left to sort of cram anything anymore in, because this is the final exam now. Grades are going to be handed out apparently at the end of the day as well, since I do have an actual professor sitting with me, so he's going to be the one grading these answer sheets. But ladies and gentlemen, I mean, it's going to be quite exciting to see how the journey begins, as we are just about to head towards the first wrangle of the day, ladies and gentlemen, which is going to be super exciting to watch. Again, a lot of possibilities. If IHC go on to win this game, they basically have a very heavy lead against the rest of the competition. But let's see, let's head towards the player cams, as in just a few more seconds we will have the plane in front of us and also the flight path on, again, the first map.
Look
of
at that.
Final day of the PMPL.
Someone's making stories of IHC's players playing, right? You can see them just making those maybe Instagram stories or maybe something
It's a
going
media
on.
team hard at work, man.
Just going for maybe a final day vlog or something. Of course, the team is at first, right? They have their morale boosted, but then again, they should not just make any mistakes. Talking about it, ladies and boys and girls,
I'm just looking for Godless. I just want to make sure he's sitting in his chair.
One of the players of Skylets was just what is he doing there? What is he doing there?
Chilling.
He has a guitar.
Yeah,
he
has a guitar. Hey,
we're gonna
get. We have a show up for ourselves, ladies and gentlemen.
Come on, someone
we're gonna have
has
some
a...
music. We're gonna have some fun
is he actually gonna play? Is he playing
right before a game? You gotta calm
right
yourself
before
down.
the game? I mean,
that's another way of calming down your nerves, I guess. That's another way of calming down your nerves. Just take a chill pill.
oh my god, it's like
What do you, Ocean? What do you do to relax?
Stairway to heaven.
Ocean, what do you do to relax?
I listen to Stairway to Heaven.
That's it.
I sleep.
That's my preference, I mean, good music and a good nap.
Yeah.
But now is not a time to nap. It's the finals that are about to begin, for crying out loud. So music we will do with if one of these amazing lads decides to just start playing some instruments for us. Nap is a big no-no. Are you already napping, Ocean?
No.
I feel like you're starting without me.
No. Alright, Rafa just cleaning his nose, I guess. Yep, that's what he is doing. And what are the other players doing? I want to know. Oh, they are praying as well. Look at Stalwart's players.
Yeah.
They are praying before the game starts. Oh my god. This game has a lot of emotions just coming up.
Yeah.
Yosu just looking directly into the camera right now. Yosu just looking into the camera. A few players just, setting their hair.
Everyone's just busy warming up at this point. Just completely zoned in, completely focused, waiting for the action.
players are also vlogging.
Who?
Look at Galzen. There is a camera in Galzen's feed. Like someone's vlogging out of that from the boot camp.
You gotta have your memories in line, right? Vlogs are the best way to do that.
Alright, now I guess they have played enough guitar. So they are ready for it. Ready for the game! Is what these players are gonna be. A few of them still struggling with the cameras, in fact.
I mean, it's all okay. All of these lads look amazing. Just waiting. All right, so everyone's ready. I guess we are about to begin. Just a final sip of that tea, and right, done. About to jump into the game now. I guess anytime now. 10,
Yeah,
9,
single time.
8, 7. Count with me. 6,
5, 4,
8.
3.
One lad put
2,
down his guitar, other one got
1.
the ukulele out. But yeah,
Yeah.
ladies and gentlemen, we are all set now, and the match is about to go live. There's a plane, the banner of Erangel just flaring right behind it, and well, we have the trajectory in front of us as well, starting from Stalva Kamishki and headed towards Ferrypier Primorsk.
Oh, this is a good flight path. Just kind of divides the map into two different sectors. Teams would want to go somewhere. They can if they want to change a drop, maybe surprise their opponents on the last day. If there are some rivalries outside the game going on, you can have your chance right now. But then again, top 10 will take the pie. The other ones, well, they'll cry. This is where Stalwart and Primos, the areas comes in. Peripier, Farm, Pochinki School, these areas are here. Rozok as well. Military base, we don't see likes to go there, but Novo Repnoi is where Stalwart does. Will they drop down? That's one of the questions. Will they change it? That's also one of the questions. Right now, T2K on the areas of Severny, they're going to be looking really good. But Skylights, oh, the drop changes. It is still there, but I'm pretty sure they'll go to Northern Georgia Pole. They're just waiting for a few vehicles here and there.
Yeah.
That looks good. Right now, IHC, instead of going to Georgia Pole, they choose Shelter Split.
Well, but let's see if that is going to work out for them. IHC has been dropping towards that Shelter Split drop of theirs, just preferring that option for a major chunk of these matches in the finals. And it has been quite interesting because it's not like it's backfiring upon them. It's working out quite nicely, on the contrary. But let's see. Again, the circle is going to be kind of split between the main island and the military island. A high probability of moving of the circle shifting towards the north and the northwestern parts currently. But on the other side, now I'm quite interested in how Raw Esports are going to approach this matchup. Heading towards Georgia Pole this time, they will be completely isolated. Skylight Gaming just landing towards the southern side of shooting range will be, well, sort of stuck for a few moments, since they know there's train to kill towards shooting range and Severny, and then there's going to be the players of Vibes towards the Water City. Raw is going to be blockading the front, just guarding that Georgia Pole position of theirs for as long as possible, as long as they can make it happen. But Skylight Gaming, I think they're going to be they will have to be extremely careful with the decision of exactly where they want to start this early game now.
I mean, I believe they have that read, right, for themselves that, Raw's players are there, but it looks like, look at that vehicle going from Skylights. Are they going for that one player of Raw that's away from the team? I don't know, but do they have enough vehicles? Because Raw's player is definitely in that house, might have had a few vehicles, a few weapons for himself. So that might just be one of the things. You can see the Zoom, ladies and boys and girls. You can see all the players just ready to just, go off with their loot. And there it is, just like we said, Assault. He's done for. Skylights' players, they started off, they get the first elimination. They saw one player, they found his weak spot, that is, he was away from the team. They're like, yeah, let's enjoy. And there it is, Skylights opening up their bank. Galzen, we see him driving right now. No, he's just sitting on the back seat as a Thompson. And now Skylights players, they'll go for the split.
Well, let's see. As you mentioned,
no vehicle.
No vehicle right there, but I mean, the option is still going to be quite open for them, since they know now if they collide against Raw Esports, they will have a clear advantage in that fight. It's going to be a 4v3 situation in their favor. So the Northern Georgia Pole control is going to be there for Skylight Gaming, but during the mid-game stages, I think Raw will definitely have a good opportunity to get their revenge against Skylight Gaming when they will be forced to cross the bridge, move over to the southern side of the map. But for now, as far as the early game is considered, Skylight Gaming have set themselves up for success. Raw, not a lot of chances of them going over to the other side to contest Assault. And this was kind of unfortunate for him that he got caught completely off guard, isolated as well. And as you mentioned, I think Skylight Gaming, the read was perfect on this.
Yeah, it was like they saw that one individual and maybe they had the understanding that no one else is there. Otherwise, and also it's a good understanding as well, because what you see is that it's one individual, plus you don't see any other team, plus a team will not drop down for that one house. Obviously, it would be just one or two players. So Skylights they were like, yeah, we can just take the player down. We can easily. And one UMP just, went really good. Seal, this team likes to go for the entire military base. They have the entire military base for themselves. Look at Wally just, running up. Leo on that one building. Baron on the middle C building for themselves. One player is on the back lines as well. So Seal is going to find a good loot, plus they have vehicles as well. I mean, military area, that it is a good area. Plus, they have that slight edge of the zone as well for themselves. Meanwhile, they'll have to maybe eventually move forward onto the northern side. We'll see, though, how does that happen. But right now, the players are going to be looking good. This is one Mongolian team that is struggling right now. Savage.
Yeah, I mean, definitely struggling, as you said.
14th place, if I'm not wrong. Yeah.
Yeah, quite far away from the qualification positions. I mean, winning the tournament, that's going to be a whole other situation for them to tackle. So I think priorities are going to be set for Savage Esports to just get enough points to figure out a way or wiggle their way inside the top 10 so that they make it to the SA Championship. I think that has to be the target at this point. But let's see if they will hit their mark or are they going to miss it completely. Hershey has been quite important for his team. Anif on the other side, I have no idea what's happening. The misplays that happened yesterday were quite brutal and out in the open. And now I think Savage Esports, it's full on damage control situation for the entire team.
Definitely is. Zol, all right. Just trying to find his own sweet loot. His teammates are just around. They have a few vehicles, so they can maybe just give him a lift. Otherwise, he can just go in his own buggy that was inside the house. Stalwarts his players. Wherever the flight path is, wherever the circle is, this team always likes to go to nowhere. Now, I love this this one factor about this team, the way these players, they like to go and they loot this own area. It's like their comfort zone. Phantom, all right, a team that was doing extremely good in the super weekends and all. I mean, the team was in top 5, top 6, like most of the times. Right now, they have a decent spot, but then again, they need to just focus on being better and better. This team has just surprised us with pretty good games. High voltage on the other side. All right, they are moving away. So Phantom gets this understanding. Yesterday and day before, Phantom was struggling on one thing, and that is their players were being caught off guard as soon as they were landing. First day it was Elementrix, yesterday it was some other team. So now I guess they have found out they have cracked the code of landing good, and maybe from there they will go for the fights and all those things. But right now, we see high voltage as well, extreme on our screens. He's just trying to maybe scout out a few areas because he's away from his teammates as high voltage went to the other side, but extreme is still maybe just looking forward to the forest area.
Let's see. As you were talking about Phantom Esports, I think there has been a decent amount of improvement from their side. I completely agree with that. I mean, they have been quite consistent with the placement points at least. It's just the team fight aspect of the late game stages that they need to figure out. Otherwise, I think the survival instincts of Phantom Esports are actually pretty good. But on the other side, ladies and gentlemen, a massive cluster of teams headed towards the military bridge. And in fact, the southern farms, southwestern farms of Pachinki is where 7C Esports, Raw, Elementrix, High Voltage, Phantom Esports are already present. Deadeyes guys are closing in from the northeastern side towards Potato Hill is where Savage Esports are currently. Just west of Farm is DRS, playing quite close to the shoreline, along with the players of IHC, who do have a few barn houses in their control at this moment in time, but it's going to be quite tricky for us to figure out exactly which team will be charging towards them because they are surrounded for integration. But Jari spotting out one of the players from the side of Savage Esports out in the open. Trula finding the first knock. Eisenberg is going to be the man going down. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is also going to be a pickup for the favor of Deadeyes guys. Now, Savage Esports, how will they respond? A utility nade being lobbed towards Jari as he falls back to safety. Deadeyes guys going for a perfect reset after picking up the advantage in the early fight.
Oh, this is not looking good. Deadeyes guys definitely wanted something for that, but look at Savage. The players, they are understanding that they are outnumbered. They're already having bad days, and now it might just be even worse because this is the last day. They would not want to make it the last for the season for themselves. They want to play the season more and more. They want to go for the championship. That's important. Savage, but right now they are going away from the place. Oh, Sanchir was spotted down. His head is being shown from that little peak that he's just actually trying to overpeak or something, and it gets spotted down as well. So, Shari needs to understand what he can do. Still just looking on Sanchir's side. It's kind of a peekaboo situation between these two teams, right? But
Yeah.
Savage, the worst part is, whatever they do, the mistakes have been made again, and now they need to understand the value of their survival. But look at that, Stalwart versus IHC. Oh my God, we would want to see that.
Yeah, now that's a fight worth watching. I believe we need to switch to that location, but we'll get there soon. One of the lads from the side of IHC getting knocked out in the situation. But as far as Savage Esports versus DE is considered, I think Deadeyes guys laid out a perfect trap, and Savage Esports just ran and got caught, and now they're getting punished. But Alex from the side of IHC finding the trade, as Godless was taken out a few moments earlier. Pika falls down to a nade from Alex. A lot of utility exchange between the two teams. Alex down to 50 HP, Godless still bleeding out out in the open. Now top, he's going to try and go for a flank, but the broken wall, will it save him? That's going to be important. A Molotov is going to push him back, but the nade, oh, it's lined up almost quite close to Alex. And, well, he does manage to survive. Both the teams looking to go for a reset, but it's going to be quite tricky for IHC to move forward to revive their star player, Godless, and bring him back into the action.
I don't know if that is going to be decent or not, because Godless is away as well, and he's bleeding down currently, right? That player is done for right from the start of the game. Now it comes down to how Stalwart can just maintain the pressure. And Johnny, remind you, oh, is he surviving? Oh my God, they're reviving it. Oh. All right, I remind you, right, that the way IHC is playing, the way T2K is playing, the way Stalwart is playing, if IHC gets eliminated, well, T2K and Stalwart both have a chance to contest for the first position right from the first game.
Exactly.
And that's why IHC needs to understand that there is a thin line between you committing for a fight and you overcommitting with overconfidence.
Well, I mean, it's going to be quite interesting. As you said, I mean, laid out the situation, the story so perfectly. If IHC are taken out, all the floodgates are just going to open up. There's going to be a multitude of teams charging forward to just grab that first position away from them. T2K, Stalwart Esports, Deadice guys, and Janmara as well. They are going to try their level best to close in on the distance. But IHC now, Godless has been brought back into the game. He has been revived. And it's a 4v4 reset between Stalwart Esports. But look who shows up. It's the players of Janmara. The top 5 are all in the same spot, basically.
Yeah, but Action just, uses a spray to take the players away. I mean, to just push them away. But this fight in the pancake area, it still has to happen. So this is called pancake area, ladies and boys and girls. If you guys don't know, this is called the pancake area. The players are still trying to just maintain a good composure. The circle's closing in. The players are definitely ready as they understand what's happening, and they're going to be still inside the zone. So IHC and Stalwart, they'll have to be prepared for whatever happens, because now whosoever moves out first can lose, because you'll be out in the open. IHC understands that. Stalwart understands that. Maybe these teams can work together. And if someone rushes on both the teams, they can shoot. They can maybe take the players down.
Maybe, I mean,
it won't exactly be working together, but yeah.
I mean, the possibility is always going to be there, but right now, I think the only thing that's missing from this fight is the fact that the circle hasn't completely abandoned them. So no incentive for them to actually move out and just be hyper aggressive against each other. The survival is not on the line. They just have to play for safety. Oh, look at Action though, quite eager to go for a peek, and I see he had that corner, that window just lined up perfectly. So just dishing out a little bit of damage before Action just falls back. Will just have the boosters running to bring themselves back in. But on the other side, 7C, it looks like they've taken a massive hit against the players of High Voltage. Now Ripson is going to be knocked out as well, while Badu G from the side of High Voltage is going to be finished off. Extreme knocked out in the open. Aku Jod cooking up a nade to lob towards Prabeen as he goes for a revive on his teammate. I mean, this one is going to be on point. It looks it's quite close. There it is. Prabeen is going to be down to 50 HP, and his teammate Extreme just vanishes in front of his eyes.
Oh my God, look at this. Prabeen was there, but what a great knock coming down. Kujot being taken down by Assassin. Perfectly cover fire provided in this situation, but 7C, the struggles are still there. High Voltage, the struggles are still there. I don't know how they can just maintain their composure, their calmness in all these situations, but still they're trying to do everything in their power, trying to do everything in their feet, whatever they can do to just stand in the fights for themselves. High Voltage is just around Assassin. We see him on the other side. These players are still there. Jane takes down Steel Shot. Leo spotted down. Muffin just trying with that M4. Oh, this is going to be a good fight as well. Both were cooking grenades. I guess Muffin Ninja just moving out. All right, that was a Molotov from Leo, but he gets shot at from the other side. He needs that backup. That is not with him. It's on the back lines, but I guess the backup is providing him adequate cover as the smoke gets lofted down by the teammates. Skylights his players. They cannot move out, and AJ needs to heal.
Well, he's not looking too healthy right now and definitely needs to heal. But from the flank, Mafia Ninja is going to take a hit as the Mini 14 in the hands of Wally is just going to be like a magic wand finding the opening that Seal Esports were looking for. Now Leo also needs to heal up before they just before Seal Esports finally start to push forward against the players of SG. But we'll talk about that in a bit, as Raw Esports again in a world of hurt now. T2K closing in on their position. Rig, he's trying to hide for them as he puts on that medkit right there, but T2K, they are too close for comfort.
Johnny, remember, there was a game in which GRS got a chicken dinner in the similar circle, in the similar position they were.
Yeah.
In this season only. DRS has the same position. It's the same circle. Oh my god, will DRS repeat this one? I just want answers to that.
Well, let's see if that is going to happen, if it's going to be a deja vu moment in front of us. But for now, 7C Esports, now they just walked away from one fight and walk into another one. Elementrix taking on two teams at the same time. They found knocks from the side of 7C Esports, and now they're putting pressure on the players of Skylight Gaming as well. And look at this, Nima seeing the players of T2K, goes for a spray on Jane, but it's not going to be able to connect as Jane just drives over Enkas. Now getting caught off guard by Orange. The duel is going to go in the favor of Train to Kill. Sandesh and Suyog in the backlines are going to try and provide ample amount of cover fire, but Mr. Yosu from the flank taking Jane down. Important pick for Elementrix at this point. They need to secure this elimination as well, as they have lost two players now. Incas, there is no point in recovering him. They can't get to him in time, and he's just going to either bleed out or his elimination is going to be picked up by one of the teams surrounding Elementrix. But Skylight Gaming, it's not looking good for them. It's Seal, it's Phantom Esports, it's Elementrix. They've been surrounded from every single direction.
It is just not looking good for the players, right? If we just talk about it. So let's see. But look at this. These players are just not trying to find up a good fight for themselves. If that can happen, that was such a good shot coming down by Jane on the feet. But I'm pretty sure we're going to be just enjoying every single bit of it. Up and down one side, Wally just taking a few shots. So this is all that happened. And now, if you look at that, Seals players, they are in the water lines. I mean, they might have just dug up their own grave, I guess, with this one. And this zone is actually playing with the players. Sushant gets spotted down. A few shots on him by Sandesh, but they did not exactly hit. So he'll have to stay on his own ground.
Wait, what? Oh my goodness. Did we just see him walking on water? That's divinity right there in action.
I know, but well, slowly these players still are trying to find up a good composure, good place for themselves, and maybe they'll just keep on moving forward. Look at that. The players are just trying. Vibes Malik takes down Assassin. Seals players, I would say they are going to be struggling a lot. They cannot move out. If they come out in the open, they would be spotted down. I guess Leo was spotted down, but then Mr. Hughes just decides not to take up a few shots or maybe something like that. The first team to get eliminated for today's day is High Voltage with only one elimination. That is just 1 point for them. But look at Phantom taking down Seal Baron. Seal is in a whole world of trouble in the waterways, and Hughes gets taken down by Sandesh. It would have been a brilliant spray, and the confirmation comes in.
But let's see, Sushant with his utility has been pretty nicely on point. Just look at that. I believe there's going to be one more popping up soon. Oh no, the heal up. Suyog was a little bit further away. Now Jane is extremely low as well. One more nade towards the same point, and I think he can secure a few more pickups. Sushant doing a brilliant job with the utility, keeping the players of Train to Kill just extremely low with their HPs, and they're constantly just using up a lot of first aid to protect themselves. Oh, this one was a bit off point, but Jane, is he visible? Just barely outside the smoke. Sushant behind the rock. Does he have more nades, more Molotovs left in the backpack? Putting on a first aid at this point is just being a little extra cautious. Train to Kill, the first aid's being utilized. Jane, he's going to be back with his HP soon, but no, he gets knocked out. No first aids right there being put on Phantom Esports. The split not really working out, as Mad Max is going to be the next knockout from their side. Jane takes a lot of damage as he runs behind the cover, and, well, Sushant just uses the opportunity to crush Gyalzin with his buggy first and misses the mark. Did he get it? So.
Yeah, he does. But look at that. Joker just was ready for the opportunity, but the jail is down right now. Joker, oh, he goes down as well. Venom Legends is just showcasing a different strategy right now, where they are just going bonkers in all the fights. What they can go for, they are just trying to go slowly and steadily. Though Alibu takes down Jiggle. That confirmation just arrives. Venom Legends, they are coordinating in a really good fashion, in a really good manner. That's really good. Stalwart on the other side, you really see this. But till now, Stalwart does not have a single kill. And
Yeah.
same goes for IHC.
I mean, the two top teams just struggling.
Stalwart's fourth.
Well, I mean, they are not looking to engage against each other, I feel like. I mean, again, the collision that we saw, the defenses from both sides were on point, so it's going to be quite difficult to pick them off as well. Stalwart Esports still managing to hold their ground with 3 players, but IHC, they are done with this. They want to go for this push, take a lot of damage. 2 players, all 3 of them, in fact, not looking too solid now. Pika, he's going to have a wonderful opportunity. They don't realize that he is behind them, and it's going to be an amazing flank if we actually get to see it happen. 2 players knocked out from the side of Stalwart Esports, just Pika, the last player standing, while IHC, they're looking to push inside the zone, looking to push towards the circle. It's not going to be easy. Alex putting on the first aid while he is in the safe haven between the blue zone and the safe zone. Godless leading the charge for his team. Icy in the backline. Zioli gets knocked out by the players of Dead Eyes, guys, but will they be able to secure the elimination? It's going to be super important for them to make sure that IHC does not make it to the final positions of the game with all 4 players alive. And as I say that, Zioli is going to be taken down. Alex is going to be next. Kazi connecting their spray. The other 2 players completely off mark, do not realize there's an enemy on the flank, and they miss their marker. Kazi, before getting taken out, does a brilliant job of just taking one more key player away from IHC.
Oh my god, IHC. Oh, that one had to hurt. That one legend had to hurt. Godless will be taken down. And IHC. Oh, it looks like they are falling down right from the first game. True Love, the individual has 4 kills. That's just so good. Dead Eyes, guys, inside the circle. DE is here to change the course of history for themselves. As right now, they just touched the 3rd point marker. They are looking forward to the 2nd point marker. And by the end of the day, they would want to be at the first. Brilliantly playing. Dead Eyes, guys, just doing everything on perfection.
Oh, the moment has slipped from the hands of IHC. It's gone from the hands of Stalwart Esports. Now, this one is just going to be between Train to Kill and Dead Eyes. Guys, ladies and gentlemen, T2K surviving with 2 players. Now, if these 2 lads manage to make it to the top 2, then it's going to be Train to Kill sitting on the first position right after this game. If Dead Eyes guys finish up with a chicken and a win, then the first position, the pole position, is going to be theirs. Let's see what is going to happen. 7 eliminations already secured by the players of DE. They have a brilliant position towards the southwestern edge of the circle. Phantom Esports playing on the cliff side now have taken down 1 more player from the side of Train to Kill. At this point, I think we can already say it. Dead Eyes, guys, they need this win. This is supposed to be theirs. Janmara out in the open, struggling to find a lot of cover, have taken a lot of damage as they make their way towards these ban houses and can be caught off guard by True Love and his nade. It's going to be locked perfectly. No fear. Getting knocked out by the rest of the lads from the side of DE. They are looking to push forward. True Love with another one inside the houses. Train to Kill getting taken out from this match as we have the top 5 teams of this game in front of us. On top, going for a push. Needs to be extremely careful. The UMP can be deadly in close range situation, but still, the numbers can play the advantage for Janmara, but that is not going to be the case this time. Dead Eyes, guys, with a very clean squad wipe against the players of Janmara, have gone on to increase the number of eliminations from 7 to 9. Well, not a squad wipe yet. Swipe YT is going to be the last player surviving, runs to the corner new room to try and survive, but oh, the situation, it's not looking good for them.
Needs to heal as well. Snipers on low HP, but Dead Eyes, guys, these players, I mean, they are on a different role. They have the circle for themselves. That's really good. They take down Phantom's player. That's really good. Now, all they have to do is just, rush and go for the confirmations. They are doing that as well. They're going to be enjoying every single piece of it, every single part of it. They are just wreaking havoc, chaos, just going, scouting out the areas, wherever they can do in their favor. They are trying. They are going for it. They are loving it, to be honest. So, it just looks good. Slipknot, he's outside, but now he has to move in the open as well, or maybe just fall down to blue. So we'll see what happens. The zone's damage is a lot, and it might just not be good for him. He's down. Play zone takes him.
That's oh, I was about to say 1 extra point for DE, but As you said, play zone being the culprit right there. Down to the top 3 teams, ladies and gentlemen. It's a 4 versus 2 versus 1 situation. Janmara still very much alive in this matchup. I like this team, man. They've improved so much. I mean, still struggling to find elimination points, but hey, consistently making it into the top 5, top 3 every single game is a pretty big deal. And Janmara, they haven't figured out a trick to do that. Snipe Whitey is still just holding his position in that house in the middle of Deadeye's guys and Savage Esports. Sanchir and Hershey, they have gone for a split. One player hiding behind the airdrop right there out in the open, the other one hiding behind the vehicles. It's not going to be easy for Janmara to just run towards them and clean up this final few individuals, but
look at
they are looking to make it happen. Oh, Snipe is going to get finished off. That was a nasty, nasty push.
Janmara, they are eliminated, but again in this day, they get to top 3, which is brilliant. Now it's a 2v4 with the 2 players actually having safe houses, but the 4 players having safe houses, but the 2 players are inside the zone. That's where Savage stays strong. But what will happen? Look at Shari. He's gonna throw a smoke or maybe a grenade. Or it was a grenade on that airdrop. Now they're gonna be just shooting up a few shot spots down. Sanchir will be giving up that enemy's head marker. Will be giving up the position as well. Is gonna go and take down that vehicle. And Shari is gonna go and capitalize. Only 100% sure. But then again, if one player goes down, Savage, they might just be faltering down. A good grenade being cooked up by Shari. Goes for it, throws it. Will be taking it down. Maybe. Oh, Sanchir is down and out. That means only one player remains. And that one player, it'll be difficult for them to do a 1v4. Hershey has been spotted down. He is done for. Definitely one more shot to the body. And Shari does it with that UMP. Deadeye's guys, they are in it to win it today.
I mean, definitely the eyes might be dead, but the hopes and dreams are very much alive. And I want to see if they move up to the first. No, they're going to be second. Oh goodness, what is it going to take to topple over IHC? I guess one more game, but still a pretty brilliant job by DE in this matchup. Bouncing up from the 4th to the 2nd.
It is very close, trust me. They did brilliant, and now they're going to be enjoying whatever they did, right?
Yeah.
So that was good, and I'm going to be loving it.
Oh, I mean, now Deadeye's guys, they have found a way to the podium. Can they maintain this pace till the end of the day? So close to being on the first position, but it doesn't matter who is the first right now at this very moment. What matters is who will be sitting on the first position at the end of the 6th match of the day. Just 5 more matches remaining. I mean, the pressure, it's going to keep on increasing and increasing. It's going to go through the roof as the last game begins, but after that, it's all going to be calm because it's all going to be done. We will have the 10 teams for the SA Championship, and we will have a champions for the PMPL South Asia.
I want to see the curse break. I want to see Deadeye's at the top. I want to see the curse break because Deadeye's guys, they have that one curse. Final day, the team always goes down. Today, final day started. The team is going up right now from 4th to the 2nd position. So I want to see them win. It's not being biased. It's just, I want to see the guys happy. Deadeye's guys, I want to see those guys, those sirs happy.
Yeah. I mean, we've been watching these lads for a long time. It's been years since we've seen the start of their journey. I mean, literally seen the start of their journey. And from there till now, it has been a long, troublesome road for them. But they haven't given up. They've always been fighting. They've always just made sure that they come back next time even stronger. And they look pretty strong right now. But do they have what it takes to close out the entire day? We will find out. But for now, we'll take a very short break. So just stay tuned, keep watching. We'll be back after this. Once again, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the PUBG Mobile Pro League South Asia Spring Season of 2022. This is your man, Super Johnny. That is my man, Ocean Sharma. And ladies and gentlemen, the first game of the day is done. Deadeye's guys going out, like, all out, guns blazing, no holds barred, and secure an amazing winner chicken dinner in the very first game of the day. But now the question that arises is, why is DE second? What is the point difference between them and the team
Exactly.
sitting on the first position? And who is sitting on the first? Is it IHC? Did Train to Kill do something special to bring themselves on the first position? Because they did have a slight advantage against the players of Dead Eyes, guys, before the game in terms of the point difference that was there.
Yeah, but then I believe it's still gonna be IHC. If it's not, then think about it, right? The South
Yeah.
Asians would have finally toppled down the Mongolians. We'll see that.
Yes.
But then this is one of our friends like to call it the masala, right? This is the masala that we all wanted, we all needed. But let's have a look at the MVP before we just move forward with all those conversations, because that's gonna be there. But in a while, so let's have a look at the MVP when we talk about it, and it is. Going to be none other than Turulov Sir, 966 damage, 6 eliminations. This guy has been the reason. I still remember Turulov when he actually successfully took down multiple teams in that Giorgio Hill circle a few weeks back, right? He got a brilliant chicken dinner for his team, and now he's coming up with the same composure.
Well, definitely. And I mean, the composure, the calmness of these lads is pretty deadly for everyone else inside of the lobby. And it's going to be looking very interesting heading towards the next map as well. I mean, Miramar, it's going to be quite intense. We've known Stalwart Esports to pop off in that particular map. Train to Kill have been quite interesting to watch in the recent days on their Miramar runs. Seal Esports, they always have a pretty decent drop location towards Los Leones, and even Janmar have decided to leave them alone after a long time. But alrighty, looking at the top players now, I'll stop my conversation, whatever I was talking about. I'll come back to that in a bit. But this entire team was on the same page. There was one call out given, guys, before the game started. Like, hey, we're going to go, we're going to kill,
But
and we're going to get those elimination points.
One elimination, 704 damage. He's on 4th on top. Like, think about it, right?
Yeah. I mean, this makes me happy. DER just... They're playing good, but Ocean, I think we don't need to get too ahead of ourselves. This was just the first game. There's more to go. There's 5 more matches left.
I mean, yeah, that is correct as well, right? Just like you said. But then again, think about it. She's there with 3 eliminations, 3-9 to Savage. They tried to have a decent game, a better game as compared to the games that they mostly just, have. So that's just one of the things. But right now, this is how the teams were. This is how the teams have been. So we'll see what changes can they just bring forward for themselves. But this was the conversation about this one game. And obviously, I believe Dead Eyes guys and Savage, right? Dead Eyes had 3,300, 28 damage dealt for themselves against Savage that had only 829. That's a massive difference in between the 15 eliminations and 5 eliminations for the team. And look at this, 19 knockouts done by Dead Eyes guys versus only 1 knockout that was just done by the players of Savage. Rest was just the conversions that they had for themselves. 25 plus minutes of survival time because everyone was surviving till the end. Savage, they had only 2 players surviving the last circle, so that makes a lot of sense, a lot of difference. But still, I cannot take my mind off 3,328 versus 829.
I mean, that's a massive difference. And again, Savage Esports, I think the struggles arose in the fact that they lost a few key players from their side earlier on. Just the final few survivors managing to play for placement points, I think, was the best case scenario for them. Had Dead Eyes guys lost a few players as well, maybe Savage Esports would have had the opportunity to move forward and close out the game, but that wasn't really the case. Match summary on our screens right now, ladies and gentlemen. It looks like it was, well, there was no love showcase towards anyone else apart from DE by True Love, sir. He was in absolute awe of his teammates, just doing a brilliant job, making sure everyone was totally motivated. As far as everyone else in the lobby was concerned, he was just looking to finish them off.
Yeah, as far as everyone else in the lobby is concerned, they were there. But True Love, he was just, liking everything. So that was good. Talking about the match rankings, all those things, you see the guys 30 points for themselves. Savage with 17, Phantom with 13. There is some difference coming down. Skylights with 6 for them individually, but DRS, come on, DRS, the previous season's champions, the Wizards with Vibes team.
Yeah, I mean, just sort of the defending champions, as you said, but not just that. I think DRS, the name itself, has a big history as far as the PUBG mobile scene in South Asia is considered, and to see them struggling to stay in the top 10, I think, is something that no one ever expected. Doesn't matter if you're a fan of DRS or not. I think even the people who were not really fans of DRS and were rooting for other teams are going to be shocked by what is
Everyone's
happening to
gonna be.
this team right now. I mean,
Everyone's.
yeah, exactly. Then they have an opportunity to recover. At least I think at this point, from this point onward, DRS, they can look to just try to get themselves within the top 10, make it to the SA Championship. Maybe the reset that is going to be there between the PMPL South Asia Finals and the SA Championship would be enough to help them recover. But I mean, for that to happen, we can just keep our fingers crossed, hope for the best, and let's see, let's wait and watch what is going to happen in the next few matches. But for now, ladies and gentlemen, we do have the Oppo F21 moments on our screen. Starting right off the bat, it was Skylight Gaming finding an easy target in the form of Assault from Raw Esports, who was just out in the open, running towards his teammates.
The nice guys as players were there as well. Like this, though they were taking up good fights for themselves, but then that Stalwart versus IHC fight, that was a good one, but that could not get to its own ending as per se. Phantom, it was good seeing Phantom just back in that their own old action. This was a brilliant shot taken down by Chain. And if we talk about all these teams and all, Jean Mara, again, they maintained their composure. They were amongst the top 3 teams again and again. That was just really good. TRS, well, they held the zone in a really good fashion, but they could not just convert it. Coming down for themselves. Jean Mara, if you talk about this team, just like we said, they held decent ground and they tried to go for decent fight. But then again, at the end, they also, not exactly though, but they kind of struggled.
Well, let's see. I mean, kind of struggling, I would say. Yeah, I agree with that. But on the other side, I mean, as we headed towards the closing moments of the match, I expected, in fact, a better conversion from the players of Phantom Esports. They were in a pretty decent position, but just the fact that the circle shifted away from them, and that is when they instantly panicked, weren't able to recover, I think was the reason why Phantom Esports weren't really able to get more eliminations. They had a wonderful opportunity, but look at that. Usually, ladies and gentlemen, when we have teams hitting the 1,000 elimination marker, it almost covers up the entirety of the screen. But Dead Eyes guys were so dominating in the match that it makes the 1,000 damage dished out graph look so small in comparison.
Yeah, it definitely does. The numbers, plus not a lot of teams had 1,000 damage as well, right? We see 1, 2, 3 teams. The fourth one just touching 1,000 marker. That was 11 tricks, but the other teams were still struggling a lot. And there it is, 170, 167. Dead Eyes guys, IHC. I mean, come on, Train to Kill. They have had 3 chicken dinners. But then the issue is, their good games are extremely good, their bad games are extremely bad. And that's why they're in the 3rd position right now, despite the most chicken dinners in this lobby. Stalwart, they go down. Jean Mara's at 5th, Skylights is at 6th. But hey, Phantom, they climb up. High Voltage goes down. But on the other side, Johnny, Vibes, DRS, top 10 is important.
I mean, DRS, Vibes, both the teams in a position from where they can, in fact, make it into the top 10. But for that, they need to start performing from Miramar. Not the second last of the day, but the next one. Savage Esports on the other side. I mean, the last game was actually pretty decent, but it was just one game. They have to put a lot more into their performances moving forward. I mean, the top 2 finish was actually pretty brilliant, but they need to make sure they're getting those top 2 finishes in every single match till the end of the day if they want a guaranteed move to the SA Championship. It won't be easy for them to pull off, but let's see what is going to happen. Ladies and gentlemen, as we head towards the next game, which is going to be played on the map that is the biggest, Miramar. It's going to be the map, followed by Sanok, but we'll get to that a little bit later. Now, Ocean going towards Miramar, which team do you fancy?
Trust me, don't ask me this question right now. Don't ask me this question at all. Because, see, you can ask me for a team and all those things, but you understand, it is pressurizing situation. Mongolians, they do great on Miramar. Dead Eyes guys is doing brilliant. I want T2K to win, I know somehow. I just feel it. But at the end, it's weird, right? We know TRS is out of top 10. Vibes is out of top 10. It's a difficult question now because again and again, ladies and boys and girls, only 10 teams will be qualifying for PMPL SA Championship.
I thought for a second you were just going to go full Bruce Banner and just say these are confusing times, but let's see. I mean, they are in fact confusing.
That's my
Yeah.
secret, Captain. I'm always angry.
I mean, someone needs to be angry. I mean, if you aren't
Yeah.
angry, I think getting to the first position, it's going to be tough. That is the emotional momentum boost that you need to motivate yourself. But, ladies and gentlemen, second game all set to begin. We will be heading towards, well, the first, the player cams, and then towards the plane exactly before we actually start heading towards Miramar. And as Ocean has said, I mean, it's going to be quite difficult to figure out which team is going to be the favorite going into the game because, I mean, who would have thought Dead Eyes guys would have a brilliant, amazing run on the map of Erangel, and IHC and Stalwarts would be the few of the teams that we would have seen getting taken out early. But I think again, that Eyes guys, they managed to be consistent. Train to Kill are going to try their level best to finish in the top three at least, so that they do not slide out of the top three on the overall leaderboard as well. And it is going to be quite interesting to see as to what exactly is going to be their strategy going into this matchup, along with the players of Jayan Mara, who tried their level best in the previous game, but I mean, we always know. I mean, the struggles were there for them from the beginning in getting those elimination numbers going in every single match that they played so far. I mean, the placement points has always been the priority for the team, so they're going to try the level best to go for those placement points again, and it's going to be quite interesting to see as to how they make it happen. But DRS now, I mean, it's really difficult to figure out exactly what their strategy will be to bring themselves back into the contention form. Because I mean, so far they're trying to
Three
be a
points,
little bit more
Johnny.
aggressive, but the 4v4s, those team fights are not really working out for them.
It's a 3 point difference between the first position and second position,
Yeah.
and it's just the second game. If a team at second position gets to the first position, then it comes down like there are still games remaining where the teams can just move forward and have their composure. We'll definitely be moving forward with the
Yes.
game really, really soon. Once we talk about it, I guess these players are going to be ready. They're going to be extremely just waiting for everything with their ukuleles, maybe guitars and
He's
whatnot that they
still
have.
playing music.
Johnny, all
Um,
right, I want to ask you, right? So, what do you prefer? Because I know you are a sound guy yourself, right? You
yeah.
love music, you love creating those compositions. What is that one instrument that you love a lot for playing?
My OG always go-to instrument has been the bass. That used to be my main. I mean, I started off with a normal six-string guitar, but then I switched over to bass because, well, there weren't enough bassists in our school, so I like pretty much had an open spot in joining the band. So yeah, it was a tactical move from my end, but we'll talk about that some other time. For now, ladies and gentlemen, Wrangle is live, and the ukulele right there did in fact prove to be a good luck charm for the players of Dead Eyes guys. But well, basically, will the luck run out? That's the question that we're supposed to ask. And
Will
if
the
it
luck
did
stay?
not, then I think Dead Eyes guys are pretty much set up for the first position.
Will the luck stay? That's the most important question
Yeah.
right now. The flight path starts off. We see Skylet's players and Dead Eyes guys' players just dropping down. John Mara's following up right now as well. El Azhar's going to be their area. This looks like a good flight path for T2K and for Stalwart to drop down as well. Like Stalwart's going to drop down to San Martin. I want to see how IHC does in this one because again, you see that IHC, Dead Eyes guys, T2K. One team that wins this game out of these three can actually move to the first position. Stalwart, well, they can win this one, but then for them, first position is like they'll have to play one more game or something like that, right? But Stalwart impresses me in one factor: be it any tournament, be it anything, the team stays in top 5. Consistency is on the next level,
Yeah, I mean,
and it's yeah.
there is no way around it. I mean, Stalwart Esports, they have managed to make it into the top three one way or the other. But I mean, we all know these lads, they don't settle for anything else but the first position. So I think that is the only reason that Stalwart Esports themselves are going to be worried that, hey, we are just slipping up a little slowly and steadily, and we are falling a little bit behind from the lobby leaders. So we definitely do need to pick up the pace. But I mean, they are still doing quite. They are still putting up decent numbers on the board. So let's see. There is still opportunity for them to close the distance and take the first position away from IHC or Dead Eyes guys, whoever it may be. But for now, in a little bit of a tricky position, well, Raw Esports and Phantom Esports. Look at that. Did you ever think this was going to be the first drop clash on Miramar that we might get to see?
I mean, no, but then again, this is how it is. This is how it is
Yeah.
happening as of now. But all right, so now we just saw a few teams just dropping down to good places for themselves, and obviously just we saw a decent number of, not exactly the clashes, but decent number of teams just trying to find out a good place for themselves. Savage, all right, this team is also struggling to be in top 10. I believe this can be a good game for them, but then again, they'll have to just maintain that composure. Every team finds up a good place, they loot down a good place. That's a good thing. But then what matters is how greatly or how
I know,
non-greatly
but then again,
you can take up a few fights here and there. And by the looks of it, Savage was doing good. Now it's IHC. We see them as well just looting down. Godless, the five-finger player. He has good reflex to be, and his reflexes have just they have been refining over all these years, and it always comes out brilliant.
yeah, I mean, he is an amazing lad. Always has been very on point. But I mean, it's been fun to watch him evolve because earlier on in the days, let's be honest, he was a very individual performance focused player. I mean, he would only be focused in on how he was doing, and the rest of the teams would also use him as that sort of a wild card individual from their side. And he did a brilliant job in getting those elimination points. What was one of the most phenomenal mechanically gifted players
Oh,
we
that
ever came
shot!
across. But look at this Fixie. Kazi is now in a world of hurt. That's going to be a troublesome position for him to get out of.
But I don't know if he can. No, Kazi's not rendering now from this distance. Plus, obviously, there are these trees and all.
Trees, yeah.
Wixie is trying to move. I get it. He's just trying to find up a good place. Phantoms players. It's like the backup has arrived, but where is Kazi? Where exactly is Kazi? Even I want to know now. Where exactly is Kazi? Come on. They see that vehicle, but no evidence of the player.
He just vanished. That's some
Oh, there
Houdini
he is.
act. Oh,
There
we
he
see
is.
him.
There he is. Look at him, just trying to stay alive. Stay with the haystack. Stay with the haystack. He heard that buggy sound, I guess. Stay with the haystack. He has nothing to heal. Phantom's players are moving away, maybe. Cause he survives? No, Rig arrives. Oh, the backup just arrives on time.
Yeah. This is the perfect backup, perfect timing as well. And as you mentioned, I mean, it would have been a troublesome situation had Kazi been spotted out, but oh boy, the first blood almost occurring as soon as the game started. But Phantom Esports, they have to back off. They have to head towards the reset now. Even they weren't done with their early game looting stage, so they're going to reset and focus in on that. But let's see, the first fight yet to occur in this matchup. Raw, I think, are just going to be a happy bunch, managing to recover their teammate from out in the open, a very vulnerable, a very risky position. But now they are again a four-man strong roster. No knocks, no damage done, no punishments for this team.
I mean, nothing done overall if you think about it, right? No casualties in the entire lobby so far right now. 64 players alive, 16 teams surviving, everyone's there. Talking about Assault, Nemesis, like these players of Raw, just like we had this conversation, now they understand the game plan that their player was down, but then the first aid was given, he heals up, and now everyone's just ready to move for themselves. Nemesis, Assault just moving out around their teammates as well, just distributing themselves to different directions. Elementrix is orangey. This is the classic Elementrix, right? Getting onto that higher ground for themselves, gonna stay on this ground, gonna scout out the areas around. So they love it. What is he dropping scopes for? He was just dropping up a few scopes here and there. I don't know why.
Well, but let's see, I mean, what the intention was behind that. Oh, no! Oh, it's alrighty.
Too fast, too furious.
Too fast and furious. Way too fast, way too furious. I think that's what Raw should call themselves. Hey, yeah,
Miramar
that's definitely not good driving right
The
there.
Miramar Drift. It's not
Yeah,
Tokyo Drift anymore, it's Miramar Drift now.
We gotta take his license away. Who gave Kazi the permission to drive like this?
Kazi is sitting behind, come on.
Oh, Rig, sorry.
Rig is the
My
one who's
apologies.
just,
Rig is the one responsible for this.
Rig is the one that's driving. And Rig, I mean, you cannot take his license away, right? Because he saved Kazi.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we cannot do anything.
I think they are looking to head towards the Miramar Grand Prix Ocean.
Ah, Hey, Verstappen did good yesterday. But then we'll just not talk about that one now. High voltage, they are taking the damage of the blue. Deadeye's guys is taking the damage of the blue. Surprisingly, Deadeye's guys wants to rotate slow in this one. Well, if they rotate slow, I don't know. But their immediate competition, IHC, is in the center of the zone in Monte Nuevo right now. A team that's in the second position is outside the blue. A team that's at the first position is scouting out the areas of Monte Nuevo. That's a big difference.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be quite interesting to see what the end game scenario is going to look like for all these teams. Now, a massive cluster of the teams forming just north of Chumacera towards Ladriela, and we did see a few shots being fired, I believe, from the players of Elementrix shooting towards Seal Esports. I don't believe they have a clear line of fire available. I believe it was just a ridge peak where one of the individuals might have become visible to the opposition for a few extra seconds. So a shot fired towards him and he just falls back because we do not see an extended fight between anyone at this point. High voltage, look at them going for a slow play, slow rotation as well. And Venom Legends, oh, this can backfire. Now, Deadeye's guys, they're moving together as a 4-man unit, but Venom Legends have gone for a 3-1 split rotation with Rage being left towards Impala for a very long time.
Venom Legends, these players, it looks like they have that composure coming down for themselves. Rage, yes, is behind, but then it all comes down to Deadeye's guys as well. How are their rotations going to be just impacting Venom Legends' rotation? The circle closes in, the next circle forms, and these teams are still with the blue. I just don't know. Oh, this is the reason then. 100% I get it.
That's the reason right there. And I think, again, it shouldn't be too difficult for them to find their way, though.
Yeah, but why? Like, now that's genuinely my question. Why are these players doing it? I mean, what is this slow rotation for?
I mean, again, if they don't know what they're doing, the opposition won't be able to figure out as well. But
DRS.
Let's see if Tom has figured out a way to take out one of the players from the side of DRS. The Golden Murano getting blown up, and oh! Killer is going to be the first casualty of the game. The first blood going to the players of Stalwart Esports.
That was fast.
That was quick.
He just saw the vehicle, he shot the vehicle, the smoke comes out, and the vehicle blows. That was extremely fast. And there it is, the first blood coming down already, the first casualty coming down already. And this time as well, it is the real soldiers. Oh my god.
Quite unfortunate for the players of DRS. I mean, they're trying their level best to find a way inside the top 10, but nothing seems to work. Nothing is working out right now. Again, losing out on quite an important player. I mean, if you remember, Killer White, he has been responsible for a majority of the clutches that we have seen in the entirety of this PMPL, this particular PMPL. Let's see, they will have a moment for revenge. Not revenge exactly, but they will have a moment to, well, pick up one elimination of their own, as Rebel has spotted out the players of Elementrix, who are just going back and forth between two positions.
Stalwart trying to find a good area. In fact, also going for the loot. That Golden Mirado is done for. That breaks my heart right now. That Golden Mirado. Hey, look at Mr. Hyosu's rotation. It's quite close to DRS. Orangey and Incas are on the other side. So that happens. And there's that one city, the city of El Pozo. That's where Raw is. IHC on a slight southern side. We see Seals players on the back lines of IHC, like onto the right hand side of the players of IHC, Phantom onto the left hand side. On the southern side, it's Savage's players and all those things. But Deadeye's guys, it's a good thing that they are not struggling with the blue right now, but they're still struggling to get inside the circle. So we'll see though how they can do it. Skylights' players from the sidelines of El Pozo is where they are. 7C, a team that we don't talk much about, but then we want to see some good games from their side. So we have expectations. So we hope they do deliver. Because again, right now, in fact, in the entirety of the game, you can see all 16 teams. But at the end of the day, only 10 will move forward.
Yeah. From 16, only 10 will get the opportunity to move forward. Again, we're to the SA Championship, ladies and gentlemen. And oh, it looks like there's a chase on. On top is being chased by one of the players from Stalwart Esports, but I believe now he did see the vehicles, the sort of parade ahead and has been forced away from this position. So the chase is off for a few moments at least. Shifusa clearing the front lines, looking to see if he can secure a safe haven for his team further inside the circle. They have managed to get away from the blue for at least a few seconds, but it won't be easy as the next blue zone is going to start closing in the next 40 seconds. Snipe YT getting to the high ground. Has Snipe in his name, but none on his back, I believe.
Is not exactly Snipe
It's the
YT
secondary.
right now. He's just what do you call it? He's just scouting out the area,
Yeah.
and now he's going down. Wee, wee. Now, yeah,
Oh,
he
the
reaches.
suspensions on that thing are just gone.
And trust me, the suspension and with that sort of a tire, I mean, come on.
No
Tire
more
was
Miramar
done for
GP.
already.
That's a yellow flag, I guess.
Yeah, yellow flag, yellow flag. The race, like, safety car has been deployed.
Yeah.
Enough with the F1 jokes now. We are gonna be just, looking forward to DRS now. Dead eyes, guys. Oh my god, they are so close to DRS. This might just be bad, but DRS looks like they sense it. Now they are moving away. DRS surviving by the whiskers in this one. Because Dead eyes, guys, well, they were quite close to them with the momentum.
Yeah. Deadass guys was in a perfect position to actually just, well, on top was able, should have been able to pick at least one of the individuals from the side of DRS, but they were just allowed to get away. I think Deadass guys also do not want to take any early game fights in this particular match. They don't want to risk losing key players in the early stages and miss out on their ability to secure a few extra elimination points, or maybe even just close out a game with a chicken dinner in the final few moments of the match. Peak just driving that buggy up the hill and finally managed to get to where he wants, but now has to be extremely careful. Finally, some bold action, and Incuts, oh, the shot connects. Incuts is going to be forced to just drop back behind the ridge again. And Stalwart Esports, they are looking to collapse on the players of Elementrix, or at least collapse on Incus for the time being.
Incus is on quite a decent HP, if not anything, if not the lowest HP or something. So yeah, the players they do understand, but Elementrix now they're kind of stuck. On the other side, IHC is trying to do everything in their favor as well to take down the players. In fact, just to pressurize the players right now, as they have the players of Skylights in quite close vicinity of them. Not exactly the closest proximity, but still quite close. Look at Galson, look at Nima just trying to move forward. Marvin Ninjas on one side. Venom Legends' rage goes down by Turu Love. Chari is just trying to pressurize the entire pack from one side on top, just going on top of this mountain, and is going to go for his own pressure as well, but he does not look at the right direction where Rafat was. In fact, Sandesh comes in, takes down the players. C2K, they wanted to be a part of the party. They are. On top is down. He cannot be saved. He might not be saved in all these situations, but I guess the players are still trying to do everything. And if they do it, I would love the composure that Deadass guys is actually bringing on the final day. Venom Legends, look at them just taking up a few vehicles moving forward, but on top needs a revival, and T2K is arriving in this situation as well. They are here to pick up the pieces of what is left in between these two players, in between these two teams fighting up. Venom Legends, let's see if they can survive this one.
Well, it's not going to be easy for them as Train to Kill. They're going to look to reapply the pressure that has been waved off by the players of Venom Legends. Deadeyes guys can be an absolute wild card in this three-team collision. But on the other side, it looks like Savage Esports, they're not having a fun time in this match. Again, losing a few of their players in the early game stages. Venom Legends, Rage, he's going to try and run away, but True Love attempting to spray him down will not be successful. Now, he knows the players of Venom Legends, they are going to try their level best to push for this compound, but it's not going to be easy for them to take High Voltage now, paying the price of initiating the fight against Savage Esports, who have recovered a 4-man strong roster, pushing towards Wadu. Does dish out a lot of damage onto Hershey, but Hershey right in the nick of time, running behind the factory, will be safe for a few extra seconds. This is a 4v3, by the way, in the favor of Savage Esports, and out of nowhere, Vibes chiming in. They do find the opening, the fight being handed over to the players of High Voltage, and look at Praveen goes on to secure one free point as he picks up the knock of High Voltage for the favor of High Voltage. Well, picks off Hershey, and Savage Esports, their numbers are reduced to 3.
Yep, they are just, reduced quite low. Waru, Extreme, Praveen on this side, High Voltage, they have to do everything. in their favor, in their power. Varu just heals up, stays there. Rebel takes down on top, sir. That is one casualty for DE as well as Malik now just taking over fight against C2K. And look at that. Deadass guys, True Love takes down one player. Playzone takes down the other. And this is not looking good. Now is the fourth circle, so the fights definitely have to happen as Playzone is also dishing up a lot of damage. Extreme, he needs to heal. Oh, he does not have anything to heal. He only has 4 bandages. Waru, alright, he barely survives. Now he's going to go for a heal on his own self as the players are coming. Savage, his players are coming quite close. Waru has 75 bullets. Did he not see them? Propine takes one down. Waru's still going to go for a decent spray, but look at that. Unable to be taken down. Savage again on a bad roll, but it's not stopping up right now. Look at Vibes' players taking a fight against the players of Team Seal as Vishal is down.
Well, one knock secured, and well, Vibes, it looks like they're going to be the world of hurt as Malik is pinned out as well, just hiding in the smoke. Leo takes a lot of damage, runs back behind the broken wall, and now Malik with the nade is going to try and see if he can find a knock, but it's going to be a bit off as the players of Seal Esports have just started falling back. On the other side, look at the elimination feed. Deadeyes guys taking a massive beating from the players of DRS. I want to see how many players from the side of DE are going to be surviving after that collision, but Malik, last player from the side of Vibes Esports. Skylights Gaming pushing towards the players of High Voltage. Oh, a massive switch up. Mafia Ninja is taken out as soon as he steps inside the factory. Galzin from the flank is extremely low. Another knock. Galzin is going to be taken out. Praveen is going to be knocked out as well. It's down to Wadu to clutch out this fight for his team. Goes for a flank. Nima is going to be spotted out, but he's cooking up a nade now. The M249 wasn't able to do the trick in the previous one, and this time it fails as well. He just finds one in the final 1v2, and Nima is going to be there closing out the fight. Skylight Gaming 3 points secured, and now they will look to move forward towards the closing moments of this match.
They definitely are just looking forward onto this these closing moments on for the match. But look at this, the circle shift. It just looks really good. And obviously in the next 20 seconds, the next zone is going to be coming up as well. Nima just staying on one crown for themselves. 7 sees Precious takes on Jean Mara Snipe Whitey. That is just not looking good. Jane is surviving somehow. Raw's players, they are on one side. In fact, Rig needs up a revival if that can happen. Jane is trying to just find up a good safe space for himself. In fact. And Zeol takes down Phantom's Vexy, which is not going to be looking good for the players of Team Phantom. Kazi is on one side. IHC, I guess he spots down Zeol. Maybe he's not going to take up a few shots right now. Nemesis from 75, he takes his M249 to 150. And Jane, all right, just has this decent cover for himself for one direction. And Phantom's Mad Max. Oh, these shots were good. These shots were brilliant. They were impressive. But T2K, they cannot do anything. Look at this. Malik is still surviving somehow. But 7C, they also are out.
Oh, wow. I mean, look at that. The top contenders falling left and right. As guys are out. T2K could be next as Jane is going to be the final survivor for his team. Takes down one, but before the Jeep gets to him, it's just the gunshots that finish him off. IHC in a perfect position to just capitalize on the lead that they have. Vexy is just going to burn alive and be shot at the same time as IHC just wipe the floor with Phantom Esports. 9 teams remaining, 29 players are alive. DRS still pinned down. Vibes not having a fun time as well. Skylight Gaming looking quite strong with their performance on this map.
Yeah, just trying to find up a good play. Skylights, they need this game as well. If they go for a good game, nothing drastic gonna change, but still their conversation between them, the conversational points between them and Stalwart might just come up really close. I mean, both the teams have all the 4 players surviving for themselves. Skylights right now, they have 4 eliminations. Seal to get eliminated right now as we're talking about it. Now Skylights is moving forward and still against the players of Raw. It's not looking good. Look at Nima, he's barely surviving. There's no HP on him. There is no HP on that player. Still is surviving, needs to heal as soon as he can. And a good grenade from Galzin can actually change and make way for the players to just understand what's happening. But Galzin goes down as Elementrix as Sushant uses his mini and gets one headshot on Galzin. But I don't think so. They're going to be just worrying about this one. They have to move forward against the players of Raw. They're trying to struggle with the areas with the blue for themselves. And Raw is on a decent higher ground for themselves. But what else is going to happen? That's one of the questions right now. As Mafia Ninja goes with a good grenade. But I don't think it's going to take anyone down. DRS, oh, this game is important. If they win this one, if by chance they win this one, they might be contesting the top 10.
I mean, definitely if DRS win this, they will have a position inside of the top 10, but it's going to be quite tricky now. Let's see. Nemesis M249 goes for the hipfire moment, but oh, it's just the numbers that were in front of him that take him down. 3v1 situation not really working out. So Skylight Gaming, another point secured. Looking to move forward, looking to just apply a little bit more pressure. But Jan Mara now getting caught off guard by the players of IHC. No Fear has already been knocked out. Godless with a wonderfully lined up nade might just be able to dish out a little bit of more damage on the players. And look at that, Gunner, he's barely alive. Suzanne is down to 50 HP as well. And the vehicle is going to be blown up to smithereens. But oh, from the other end, Stalwart Esports getting caught off guard by Icy as Pika gets knocked out. And Icy, he wants to be quick about this one. Just instantly trying to secure the elimination points as well, but will be forced to go behind the ridge again and try and protect himself, as Stalwart Esports still also have all their players surviving in the game.
They are looking good. Mongolians, they like to dominate these kind of lobbies for themselves. And well, by the looks of it, these players, they would want to just, dominate more and more and more when it comes down to it. DRS, well, the struggles are real with them as well. IC is down from IHC, needs up a revive. Zol is there, just going to be helping out the teammate. But the grenades, the throwables are coming in really good. They're coming in from all the directions. So IC needs to understand that value, that worth. Look at Elementrix as Orange goes out as well. Maybe you'll not be able to look them anymore. The players are still surviving, but they are on the other side. Oh, Godless is on such a low HP. Still trying to take up a fight, but from the back lines, one shot just comes down to it, which might just be a full stop on the players of IHC pretty soon. Zeol, IC are still surviving. John Mara's gunner is out there. One more shot on Gunner, and he will be out of the lobby. And there it is, Jean Mara. They are out on 6th.
Oh, but the point went towards the players of Stalwart Esports. That could be a troublesome situation for the players of IHC. Zeoli is going for the revive onto Godless and IC, but is he going to be allowed? Well, will he be given the time required to go for both those revives? Stalwart Esports, they're quite keen. They are quite keen, and they're looking to eager to apply pressure. Look at that. No opportunity for Zol to bring his teammates back into the action, as Skylight Gaming from one and Stalwart Esports from the other. They're not looking to stop anytime soon. IC is going to be picked up with the help of a frag grenade. And now Godless and Zeol are all that remain top in action, going for the cleanup. Skylight Gaming still looking quite solid. I believe 8 or 9 eliminations secured at this point of the match. And hey, look at that. Elementrix is still there. Wow.
Elementrix, I mean, they are collecting all those pieces, bits for themselves. Skylights, it looks like they are going for a wrong rush. Maybe, I don't know if they know Sushan's position or not, as he's on one side. DRS on the other. Skylights versus DRS. Oh, this is a good fight. The ex-DRS is out there taking down the players with a brilliant grenade. Nima is down. Morphin Ninja follows as well from Elementrix's side. They were ready for one team, but they were not ready for more than more than one team just out here. So that's one thing that happened, as Sushan from one side took down a few players. But look at that Stalwart taking a fight against IHC. This is just so brilliant. Godless is down. Zeol is coming up to take up a fight. He has fought on a few players, but I guess a few more shots in fact, and Zeol will be taken out of the lobby if that happens, as all the players are surviving from Stalwart. They're trying to move forward. Zeol is out, and Stalwart, they are looking confident right now. But this fight, 3 South Asian teams just trying to take up a fight against each other. I don't know what's going to happen, but DRS, they need this game at all the costs.
Oh, yeah, they definitely do need this game. It's going to be a world of hurt for them if they fail to find the win in this one. But let's see. It's not going to be easy for them. They are trying to push forward. They do have 3 players still remaining. And Stalwart Esports with a 4-man roster being brought back. Action, look at him just lining up the nade. Take out Mr. Yozu. It's going to be lobbed, but just outside that metal shack. And Mr. Yozu manages to survive.
These players are still trying to just survive, be around these areas if they can. Slowly and steadily, fight is definitely happening. AJ taking down DRS's rules. Delta is on there on the other side. Stalwart's action just not getting taken down. Stalwart's players are just there. DRS Delta with a good grenade of his own self. Maybe just trying to take down a few players, but then again, yes, he does. Action gets finished up by his grenade. That would have been a brilliant grenade to watch. Right now, Skylights is out there with 2 players. Stalwart with 3, DRS with 2, and Elementrix, well, only Mr. Hughes remains.
Well, as you said, only Mr. Yozu remains for the team. This is the final hopes and dreams, and well, they are going to be shattered. Not just shattered, just blown to smithereens by the players of Stalwart Esports. The three titans in this matchup remaining in the very end, ladies and gentlemen, are Skylight Gaming, Stalwart Esports, and the players of DRS. A 2 versus 2 versus 3 situation with Stalwart Esports with the man advantage, and DRS and Skylight Gaming. It looks like these two teams are just about to collide against each other, as Delta, I believe, has been spotted out by Mafia Ninja and is just waiting for his opportunity patiently to engage in upon the players of DRS. AJ with an amazing flank as well, but can be caught off guard as soon as he steps on towards the other side of the ridge, as Rebel is going to be there to protect his teammate Delta alongside with him. And the UMP from this range is just going to be absolutely nasty on towards AJ. A lot of damage in just a matter of seconds. So he backs off right in the nick of time. Quite a nice decision.
DRS Rebel just trying to be with the zone. Stalwart's players on the other side. Skylight's on the other side as well. This is not looking good, to be honest.